Alright, so hangers for quantities. Let's see this example here. So on page 43, section 8.2, explain why either of these equations could represent by this hanger. I actually deleted the equations there and I want us to create the equations. So here's a hanger. I want to create the equation from this hanger. There are going to be two types of equations, or two different equations that we could create, all resulting to the same answer, but I want to get two equations from this. Give me one.
X times 2 plus 3 times 3.
Okay. So here's our equation. Here's our equal sign. Cool. So 14 equals. How many x's do I have? 2 x's. How many 3's do I have? And 2 3's. Or simplify this to 11 equals 2x plus 6. $14, not 11. Just joking. Alright, one equation is right there. So I'm just write that a little neater. So equation 1, 14 equals 2x plus 6. Second equation. What would my second equation look like? Now delete this. What could the second equation look like? Yep.
14 equals 2 times the quantity of x plus 3.
Awesome. 14 equals 2 times the quantity of x plus 3. So if you notice here, right, so let's talk about that for a quick second. If you notice here, I have two groups here. Here's one group of x plus 3. Here's another group of x plus 3. Right? Rather than using the word group, I'm going to use the word quantities. So here's one quantity of x plus 3. Here's my second quantity. First quantity of x plus 3. Second quantity of x plus 3. How many of those quantities of x plus 3 do I have? 2 of them. So 2 times the quantity of x plus 3. All equal to 14. I'm going to solve this one first. I don't want to know what 2 quantities of x plus 3 equals. I want to know what 1 quantity of x plus 3 equals. 2 quantities equals 14. What does 1 quantity? We assume each quantity gets the same amount. Let's answer that one first. Does each quantity get the same amount of units? Does 14 units? Yes, each quantity gets the same amount. So how much does one of these quantities get? 7. Yeah, if I split that 14 evenly, one quantity gets 7, the second quantity gets 7. So one of these quantities, one of the x plus 3's, one quantity of x plus 3 will get 7 units. Well, how do I get there algebraically? How do I turn those 2 quantities of x plus 3 into one quantity? How do you turn 2 into 1?
You divide by 2.
Perfect, yeah. I'm going to divide this by 2. So algebraically, I'm going to divide these 2 quantities by 2 to get 1 quantity. What I do to one side, do to the left side, or do to the other side? 14 divided by 2 is 7. Now I have one quantity of x plus 3 equals 7. You don't have to write the 1 in front of the parentheses anymore. It's implied, so I'm just going to write here, x plus 3 equals 7. Now if I'm looking at this as a new hanger here, my new hanger looks something like this. I have an x here. I have a 3 here. And rather than 14 units, I have 7 units. That's my new hanger there. How do I solve this piece now? How do I solve this one now? Yep. Yeah, I'm going to take 3 units away from the left side. I'm going to take 3 units away from the right side, leaving me with just 4 units. So x is equal to 4. Algebraically, I'm going to take 3 units from the left, take 3 units from the right. X is equal to 4 units. Question for you guys. I have 2 quantities. I turn 2 quantities of x plus 3 into 1 quantity by dividing by 2. What if I have 3 quantities of x plus 3? How do I turn that into 1 quantity?
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3. If I have 4 quantities, how do I turn that into 1 quantity? Divide by 4, and so on and so on. So however many quantities you have of your x plus 3, or 7 plus x, or 8 plus 2, whatever is in here, whatever groupings you have, or whatever quantities you have, however many you have, you divide by that many, always to get it down to 1 quantity. I showed the step here of turning this into one quantity of x plus 3, but if you wanted to bypass the step and go right to that step without writing the 1 times the quantity of, that's fine. Just wanted to give you a little visual there.